Hey everyone, welcome to another review. As always, my name is Jay, and today I'll be reviewing Cypher, the Fallen, basically. One of the cool data slates for the Dark Angels / Chaos, because Cypher he's the Fallen, see? Lord of the Fallen. Ooh. So, he's cool. So he's kind of like, he's a Dark Angel, but he's the Fallen Dark Angel. So, you can play him with Dark Angels, or you can play him with Chaos, and both of their benefits. I think his special rules will really help the Dark Angels, but he works really well with Chaos as well. So, we'll today's review will cover his rules, and then he has a formation as well. I'm not going to go over the scenarios because they're just fun scenarios to play with people. But, so Cypher. Now, Cypher, he's an interesting guy. I'm going to be picking him up sometime in the near future. He's only available through the Games Workshop online store, so I'll have to wait till I'm going to the nearest Games Workshop. I don't want to pay the shipping. And, so Faction. Here's the rules for him ahead of time. So, Faction. Cypher is either the Chaos Space Marines or Dark Angels faction for the duration of each game. Alright? Your choice. Choose before deployment. So I'll typically be choosing Dark Angels because I play Dark Angels. Note that Cypher can still be included in one of the detachments listed above, though he might have a different faction to the detachment's other models. i.e. Cypher is an exception to any detachment's restrictions, stating that all units in the detachment must have the same faction. So you can attach him to other things. He's either Dark Angels or Chaos, but you can attach him to other factions, I guess. That's pretty scary. So, let's go over the man, the legend, the Fallen, Cypher. Cypher is an HQ, of course. I wouldn't see him anything otherwise. He's 190 points. Now, that's actually a really good points cost for what he can do. He's not... he's still close combat oriented, but he's really good at shooting. He's the best gunsman, I'd say, in the Space Marines faction. He's pretty insane. So his power armor. His frag grenades, crack grenades. His stat line is weapon skill 7, so that's pretty solid for close combat. He'll be attacking most things on 3s. Good stuff. Ballistic skill 10. So he hits on 2s and rerolls on 2s. So he's going to hit. It's basically twinning guns with It's kind of like having twinning guns with ballistic skill 5. So that's insane. Strength 4, toughness 4. 3 wounds. Initiative 8. So once again, he's pretty solid in close combat. 3 attacks, leadership 10, 3 up save, because he has power armor. Special rules, and they shall know no fear, because he's Space Marines. At any cost, which is an interesting rule. So, basically, he has a rule called Divine Protection, which means that if there's any models within d6 inches of Cypher when he loses his last wound, or is otherwise removed as a casualty, then Cypher is assumed to be captured alive. Not killed, captured alive. If there are no enemy models within this range when Cypher is removed as a casualty, then he's made a miraculous escape. If Cypher escapes, then he's not considered to be a casualty for the purposes of rewarding victory points. So he does not assign Slay the Warlord, if I'm pretty mistaken. If he is captured, then points are awarded normally. So he does not give Slay the Warlord if your opponent is not within 6 inches of him. So that means your opponent has to be really right in his face and kill him via close combat, because if you kill him via distance, he just goes away, you lose your Warlord, but your opponent doesn't get points for it. So if it's a kill point game, Purge the Alien, he doesn't get the victory point for it, and doesn't get Slay the Warlord, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section down below. But sorry, back to at any cost. So if Cypher is captured by a Dark Angel player, right? The player whose army includes the Dark Angel scores 3 victory points. So if I play Dark Angels against Cypher and I kill him and I'm right beside him, I kill him in close combat, I get D3 victory points as opposed to the 1. And if Cypher is forced to escape or is captured by a model that is not Dark Angels, neither side receives any additional victory points. And if Cypher is neither captured nor forced to escape at the end of the battle, the player whose army includes Cypher scores D3 victory points. So, D3 victory points for him staying alive. That's awesome. Of course, with this guy, you want to be kind of aggressive because he's pretty awesome. He has blazing weapons, which means that Cypher can he can choose, but he can shoot, both of his pistols, he has 2 pistols, which I'll discuss after, twice in each shooting phase, so shoot them both, or can fire them each before or after making a run move. So he's kind of like Eldar. So he can move, run, and then shoot, or move and then double shoot his guns, and he'll probably hit with both of them. So that's pretty awesome. When taking Overwatch shots, Cypher uses his full ballistic skill. So if you run at him and you try to assault him, he's going to shoot you with his guns, and he has a good gun. And he is going to hit you. In the assault phase, half of Cypher's close combat attacks are Strength 4 and AP 5, and all the remaining attacks are Strength 7, AP 2. So basically he's shooting his guns are, but the rounding up are the Strength 4 AP 5s. So if he gets 3 attacks, 2 of them are going to be Strength 4 AP 5, and 1 of them is going to be Strength 7 AP 2. But if he charges in, he gets 2 Strength 4 AP 5s and 2 Strength 7 AP 2s. That's pretty cool. He's an interesting guy. He has Divine Protection, which means if there's an enemy model within C6 inches of Cypher when he loses his last wound or is otherwise removed as a casualty, then he's assumed to be captured alive. We already gone over that. He has Fleet. Of course. Why not? He has Hit and Run. He's awesome! I love him. Independent character, of course. Infiltrate. Never Forgive, which is in the missions that include both Cypher and Dark Angel models. All Dark Angel models with their Inner Circle special rule also receive the Zealot special rule. Now in missions, I don't know if they're referring to the specific missions in this book or all missions in general. I don't know about that one. But Zealot's great because it allows them to reroll their hit rolls in the first round of combat. He also has Shadowy Herald of Strife. Now this, I forgot to, I should have reread this before I did this review. It fixes my problem ahead of time with the Slay the Warlord. He can't be the Warlord. Shadowy Herald of Strife means Cypher cannot be selected as the Warlord of any army. So you have to have another HQ to be your, or another character as your Warlord, for Slay the Warlord. And in addition, because you include Cypher in your army, your Warlord suffers a -1 penalty to his leadership. So there's no Slay the Warlord for having, because you can't, for killing Cypher because he's not the Warlord. Which makes sense. So that's cool. So what do I think of Mr. Cypher? I am going to buy him and I'm going to include him in some of my armies. I typically only run 1 HQ in my army. So that's going to be awesome. Him with Belial and a bunch of guys is going to be hilarious. Oh, I forgot to mention, what kind of guns does he have? So here are his weapons, the next page. So he's 190 points. Remember this, he has relics. They're under warrior, they're under relics. He has Cypher's pistols. Basically, one of them is a bolt pistol, and one of them is a plasma pistol. His bolt pistol is 16-inch range, strength 4, AP 5, and his Cypher's plasma pistol is strength 7, AP 2. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't get hot or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me see. Cypher's sword. Oh, he also has Eternal Warrior. Just didn't say that in his special rules. It's under his relic. But Cypher's sword. Cypher's sword grants him Eternal Warrior. And Shrouded. So Cypher has Shrouded. Note that Cypher never draws the sword, and therefore it cannot be used as a melee weapon. Okay. So he has Shrouded to get him in combat. He has Eternal Warrior. He has 3 attacks, 4 on the charge, half of them strength 4, AP 5, half of them strength 7, AP 2. His guns are insane. I don't think, maybe I got wrong that they don't get hot, but I thought there was something that say they don't get hot. Maybe I'm wrong. Alright, it's okay. Cypher's pistols? Oh yeah, there we go. Note that Cypher's plasma pistol does not get hot. So he's amazing from close combat. He runs in, so you can get him, if you get him close to your enemy, he gets 4 shots, 2 of them strength 4 AP 5, 2 of them strength 7 AP 2. That will hit pretty much anything, because he hits on 2's reroll. They don't get hot for the plasma pistol. He has Eternal Warrior. He is Shrouded, so you put him in cover. You put him in cover like Relics, Ruins. He has a 2-up cover. I love this guy. He's 190 points. that's an amazing cost for this guy that you get. So expect to see him in future games. Sometime in the future, I'm going to have him in a Dark Angel army because it's so heresy me saying that, but I love it. He is awesome. And I like that a lot. So he's awesome. Now let's go over the Fallen Champions, his formation. He has a formation, but it's for Chaos. It's not for Dark Angels. Fallen Champions, it's for faction Chaos Space Marines. And the formation is Fallen Champion formation that consists of the following units: Cypher, and 1 to 3 units of Chosen. So if you have Dark Vengeance, you're in great shape, because you get Chosen and Dark Angels. Options, restrictions: units of Chosen from this formation cannot take Chaos Rewards, Chaos Artifacts, Marks of Chaos, or dedicated transports. So they have Gunfoot, which is going to be slow. It's going to be a little bit slow with them. But but the special rules are pretty sweet. They have Infiltrate, so you can get them starting closer up on the board. That's pretty sweet. They have Fallen Leader, which is any unit from this formation that is within 12 inches of Cypher must use his leadership characteristic, so 10, instead of their own for leadership tests. And they shall know no fear. There you go. See, now you got Chaos Space Marines. So Chaos Champions, not Chaos Champions, Chaos, what are you doing? Okay. Chaos Chosen and they shall know no fear. Huge benefit for them. And Never Forgive, which is once again missions that include both Cypher Dark Angel models, all Dark Angel models, and the Inner Circle special rule receive Zealot. So that's pretty sweet. So unfortunately they can't take rewards, artifacts, marks of chaos, or dedicated transports, but they can infiltrate. So that gets them pretty up the board. You know, that gets them closer to up the board. That gives them They Shall Know No Fear, which is great for Chaos Chosen. And yeah, and they get a better leadership out of it because they're normally leadership 9, and then they get leadership 10 instead from Cypher. So cool stuff, and you can have a Champion of Chaos as well. And there's a bunch of options for them. Obviously, they have all the normal options other than the marks and the aforementioned stuff. So excellent stuff. So then there's missions as well that you just they're just interesting missions that include Cypher that you could play, and that they're kind of cool and they have a bit of a theme to them. So that's cool stuff. But that's it. So that is my in-depth review of Cypher. What do I think of him? He's awesome. Should you include him in Dark Angel's army? Yeah, you really should. It gives your Dark Angel Zealot, if there's a mission, I think they're referring to the missions, but he's amazing. He's under 90 points. You can't take him as a Warlord, but he will kill a lot of stuff. He's Eternal Warrior. He's got Shrouded. You know, your opponent is going to spend a lot of firepower to kill him. And then if they kill him, and it's a victory point mission for, like, Purge the Alien, you don't get any points. And if he's alive at the end, you get points. Unless they kill him in close combat, then they will get points. But that's cool. Really cool stuff. So that's my review of Cypher. I think I'm going to try to get him in the near future and include him in my Dark Angel's army. Just have fun with him. Put him in with Belial and just get him in front of your enemy and just start popping things. Strength 7, AP2 with no it gets hot chances. The odds are he's going to hit whatever he wants to hit, and he's probably going to kill whatever he wants to kill as well. So he's pretty deadly. Now, will he have good synergy with... I think he'd have good synergy with Terminators in general, especially the way I like to deep strike them closer, but or put him in a Land Raider, then move him up on your opponent. That'd be a good idea. Gets him up close and protects him on the way up. I think he'd be great combined with a squad in a Land Raider. So I think he'd be a good match with Deathwing. He'd be a good match with Tactical Marines as well, seeing as Tactical Marines would just be a bunch of bodies that he can attach to and get himself across the board and then just wipe out an enemy. Cool stuff. So thank you very much for watching this review on Cypher, the Fallen. And I really hope you enjoyed it. It was requested by you guys, the viewers, and it just took me a little while to make. I'm very sorry about that, but I hope you really enjoyed this review. Stay tuned for more reviews, and until next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting.